Hey everybody, thank you for joining me today. I am here live with RJ Christian from Twenty-Sided Tavern, a Dungeons and Dragons live stage interactive experience. Is that a good way to describe it?
You gave all the good words. That was perfection.
Awesome. So 20-Sided Tavern is going on a nationwide tour right now. They started in New York. They're in Chicago right now for a few weeks. They're going to be in LA, San Diego, Detroit, Indiana, Arkansas, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. You guys are going all over the place.
If you are somewhere, we will find you.
Yes.
We are going to you.
That's awesome. I'm really glad to see that you guys doing a nationwide tour. I haven't seen the show yet. I really want to. I will one day. But how are you involved with the show, and how did you get involved with the show?
It's a very funny story how I got involved in the show. Actually, I was not. So the show is very big on it's Dungeons and Dragons. It's improv comedy, and before this show, I had no Dungeons and Dragons experience and no improv comedy experience.
Oh,
And so I
wow.
saw, yeah, I don't know how I got this job. Well, by my raw talent, no, but my roommate
Hmm.
is an amazing improviser, and he plays Dungeons and Dragons. So I was like, dude, you gotta go audition for this. But he got sick, and he was like, dude, I won't be able to make the audition. You go. You never know what'll happen.
You never know.
And 19 months later, I've been doing this show all the time, and I would call myself a D&D player and an improviser now. So we made it work.
That's awesome. I really feel that a lot of people would enjoy D&D even though they haven't played it. It's just like it's more of a like innate human thing, especially with the improvising and the storytelling, than it is like something else, like maybe a sport or like actually writing or something like that.
Well, what's so awesome about it, right, is that it's collaborative. You're
Mhm.
not playing against the dungeon master. They're just sort of facilitating you running about the sandbox trying to do your best and using a 20-sided die to see if you succeed or fail, which is kind of awesome. You just everybody's working together to make the best, most satisfying narrative and eating
Yeah,
a lot of snacks and stuff.
the snacks are definitely an important part for me and my table. I know that.
You can't play it without snacks.
Yeah.
It's required.
And so you are a tavern keeper and a player?
Yes, I do everything in the show. For people who haven't seen the show, the Tavern Keeper is essentially the person who arbitrates all of the hard rules, and they're also running the program called Gameotics, which
Okay.
lets the audience vote on things. So
Okay.
there's a dungeon master who's sort of running the story and narrating, and then the Tavern Keeper is saying, oh, this should be a constitution check, and oh, let's let the audience decide this, that, and the other thing. So I do
Oh,
that, and I'm also one of the players as well.
that's cool. So you help almost like an assistant dungeon master, but you're also interfacing with like the crowd and stuff like that.
Exactly. Because the players do such weird, we'll get into a situation where it's like, I want to surf on this gelatinous cube also while trying to get his dad back. And I'm like, okay, I guess you have to make a contested dex check against his strength. And we like that sort of stuff
Uh-huh.
is so weird and so like particular to any particular moment that you
Yeah.
need another brain to sort of parse whatever crazy stuff is happening on stage.
Yeah, totally. I can see that. Have you been involved with 20-Sided Tavern from the beginning or no?
I joined at the beginning of the New York run
Okay.
because they've been kicking around. Like they did a run in Chicago before the tour, and then they were at the Asylum in New York, and they were at Edinburgh Fringe.
Hmm.
So I joined early 2024.
Okay.
So I've been in here for like a year and a half, some change.
Cool. Um, so as a so do you do tavern keeper and player at the same time?
So the special thing about this show, well, it's special slash weird, is that all of us know multiple roles, and on any given performance, we will swap roles.
Oh.
And so I know all three of the player tracks, and I know Tavern Keeper. And so maybe I'll do Tavern Keeper on Tuesday, and then I'll do Team Might on Wednesday, and then I'll be off on Thursday, and then I'll be in Team Mischief on Friday. So we all swap through the roles, and there's 9 of us, 5 roles. We all get like 5 shows on and 3 days off. It's kind of a sweet deal.
That sounds nice. So there's 3 different player tracks. You mentioned 2. You said Might, Mystery, and what's the third
Might,
one?
Mischief, and Magic.
Oh, Mischief and Magic. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. And those sort of represent like the archetypes of the 3-man band, right? Like Team Might's all like, there's like fighters in there, paladins, barbarians, hitting stuff, being the hero. Team Magic, all the hard casters. We got clerics, sorcerers, wizards, the thinkers. And then Team Mischief, the bards, the artificers, people who are a little bit more sneaky, sinister, seducey are on that team. But it's very flexible how the characters might come out on any given day. But that's sort of the idea of the 3 teams. And the audience, my favorite part, they get to vote on what character you play that night.
Oh.
So like Team Might, you'll present 3 characters. They'll pick one of those. That's the one you're playing.
That's really fun. So, but you all you're familiar with the characters that might be chosen.
Exactly.
And they're all, probably very different races and stuff like that, and backgrounds and whatnot. So like, that's really cool. How else would you say that 20-Sided Tavern is different than a regular D&D session?
It's, for one thing, we are up and embodying all of the characters. And so like where you would say like, oh, I jump on his shoulders and I do this, we're doing it. We have like a million different props we can use, costume pieces, we have special effects that appear on the big screen behind us. And we also have the audience as they're playing and they're making decisions. And so this is all filtered through like, what story do they want to tell? Like there's been several times when a character's been like, I might do a heel turn and turn to the dark side. And it's all been decided on what the audience wants on that night. And so like, sometimes they decide, no, this person is doing a heel turn. They're going to join the bad guys team and everyone might lose and die. Which I think is kind of, it's such a treat as an actor because you never know truly what to expect.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about playing D&D and TTRPGs just in general is that, you can have the same scenario. It's going to be different every time, especially with the different people that are involved as well.
And there's so many ways, that's what sort of gives it that leg up on like a video game where it's like anything is valid if you can explain how you want to do it. It's not like there's no invisible walls. There's no, you're limited by the rules and your imagination. And sometimes you're not even limited by the rules, depending on how much you Venmo'd your dungeon master.
Yeah, that's my favorite rule is rule 0. The rules are yours to do whatever you want with.
Which is so great. Like, yes, let me, give that person an atomic wedgie with my mage hand, like I want to, make an apartment in my bag of holding. Like, just let me.
That sounds great.
It's funny. Let me do it.
Like, a real rules lawyer will argue for rule 0.
Okay. Now you're cooking. Rule of cool, baby.
Rule of cool, exactly. Do you find yourself gravitating towards any of those 3 archetypes? Like personally as a
It depends on the day. Sometimes if I'm really wanting to be like my comfort characters are in Team Might. Because the three characters there are all sort of like there's a character named Chester, and he's often called the Brobarian because he's like a college dude that just wants to like, crush some skulls and have some fun, dude. And like, I got a freaking hammer. And like that character, like being able to just be like, yeah, dude, it's fun, is so like, I could be feeling so unfunny and uninspired, and I hop into that guy, and it's like, oh wait, no, this is great, this is easy. When I'm in my bag, there's a particular character on Team Mischief whose name is Legs Laporte, and Legs' whole thing is that he is a Harengon artificer who his whole thing is that he just loves to poison people, and like he does it for the fun of it. And I found this character that is sort of like the Mad Hatter, and so he's just like, oh, I want to poison you. Look out for your spot of tea, you're gonna die. And like that character is, I think, my number one favorite character to play, because he's a menace and so weird, but he has so much fun doing it. And just, oh, I poisoned you. Rest in peace.
I love characters that help you, that are so like, when they have like a clear goal and you know how to accomplish it, and that definitely helps me, especially like when I'm as a dungeon master, like playing an NPC or something like that. The more that like I'm clear about their goals, the better I can play the NPC or even a character that I'm playing when as a player. So have you played any like D&D campaigns yourself since you started this?
I have. Since starting, my roommate actually DM'd a game where we were essentially trying to track down this. We were part of a thieves guild, but then the government made the thieves guild disappear, and so we were trying to track down the members of the thieves guild. And I was playing this robot. What was it? What in D&D terms, he's a warforged named Mark Zero, and his whole thing is that he's just like the best helper robot, like kind of a Baymax kind of character. And it was so much fun. It's one of those things where I do this show so much, and I'm like, oh wait, I love D&D. It's kind of a great game. So yeah, we finished that campaign a couple months ago, and it was very fun. And I want to start another game very soon.
That sounds awesome. I haven't played a Warforged yet, but one day.
Oh, they're so fun and so beefy, and they're just as fun as you think they are.
Yeah, I love seeing them in like I watch a lot of Critical Role and Dimension 20, and they've been using a lot of automatons and robots recently, so it's been really fun to like get ideas about stuff like that.
I just love how in the text it's like, oh, these are suits of armor given arcane life, and it's like, no, it's a robot. Beep boop boop bop. That's a robot. I'm sorry, yeah. It's a robot.
But and like, what's great is we all can have our own version of that, because there are a bunch of different types of robots that have been in various media, books and movies, over, iRobot's an old story,
Yeah, like, and now with, I think, how big and important AI is in our life, I feel like those stories are going to get a lot more interesting and emotional and human. Versus when like if your touch point was like Terminator or Iron Giant, like I feel like there's so many different places to bring out emotionality in those characters. But I think is that's always those stories about robots always touch me, because like, oh, that's just a guy trying to figure it out in the world.
He's just trying to be human like all of us.
Come on, give him a chance.
Yeah. So I also saw that you do musical theater composing?
Yes. Before 20-Sided Tavern, my claim to fame was I wrote a song for the Ratatouille TikTok musical, um,
That's
which
cool.
it was so much fun. And I've been trying to live it down ever since, but can't seem to get that credit off my resume just because it's so iconic.
Yeah. Wow. What a TikTok musical. How does that work?
Ooh, the short version is that during the pandemic, someone like sang this song about Remy. Like it was like Remy the Ratatouille, and it like got like a million views. And so people started speculating, what if Ratatouille was a musical? And a bunch of creators like got crazy viral doing these like Ratatouille songs. I wrote a song about Anton Ego eating the food and being like, "It's good, whoa!" Um, and a producer sent us all an email that was like, "Hey, Disney wants to do something with this. Hold on." And so we ended up doing this fundraiser for oh gosh, it used to be called the Actors Fund, and now I forget the name of the charity. But it was a charity for actors, and we ended up raising $3 million for this charity with
Whoa.
this show. Truly, because they got like big Broadway stars to sing in it, like Kevin Chamberlain and Andrew Barth Feldman, Andre the Shields. Like it was an insanely stacked cast, and they were all singing our Ratatouille songs. And Disney was like, "We're cool with this. We'll never do it again, but we're cool with it now."
Wow.
It was amazing.
That is so cool that Disney stepped in and like helped out like that. That is so you don't see big
Listen,
companies doing stuff like that often anymore.
you know, you got sometimes they have their big one, and Disney did their big
Yeah.
one by not sending their lawyers.
Yeah. Yeah. Man, Ratatouille is such a good movie. Oh.
Oh my God, don't even get me started.
Into a musical. That's so fun. I wasn't on TikTok at the time. I joined like, oh my God, when did it 2023? So yeah, I think I missed out on all of that. But that sounds really cool. How do you think so do you bring any of that into the D&D stage performance?
There are a lot of I try to sing whenever I can. That's my cheat code. That I just bust out a little note here and there. Especially when I'm behind like the tavern keeper station. Honestly, because it's like, oh, they need a little background music, or oh, like the chest opens and it goes, oh, like all that kind of stuff. I love to do. And there's a bard character who, when I play him, obviously he's gonna sing.
Oh yeah. Do you do you how many instruments do you play? Do you play instruments?
Now there's the question. I play a lot. Piano's my main. I play a little. I play some saxophone, some clarinet,
Ooh.
guitar, bass. Give me a tuba. I can do a little bit of something. Do I play anything else? And a little bit of ukulele.
That's cool. Do you ever play anything while you're the bard? That would be fun.
So there's a ukulele on stage that I'll sometimes strum. There's a guitar. I'll do a little bit, and there's a lute that looks the best but is the most out of tune. So when you pick it up, it looks really cool until you strum a note.
Oh
And
no. Oh no. Yeah, I
thanks.
play guitar and bass, but I haven't played a lute before. Is it a 7 string? Is it 8 strings? It's not a 6 string
This
like a
one,
guitar.
I think this one is strung like a big fat mandolin.
Mm,
So it's like four double courses, like a
mhm.
violin upside down.
Cool. Yeah, I've never played a lute before, but they in all my favorite fantasy books and stuff, the main character always plays a lute.
Ding 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 ding. It's so fun.
What has been your favorite like crowd like suggestion or like voting choice?
Ooh, that's really good. The crowd sometimes gives us some bangers of names. I'm trying to think of the last like really awesome one that we got. You know what? The So one thing we do at the end of the show is that we collect words to create the big bad evil guy that our villain transforms into. So he's like an abyssal demon. He uses his magic to shapeshift. And last night we got the suggestion of Chad. And so the big bad evil guy just transformed into a dude named Chad, and they're just fighting a dude. And what was great was that whole show was about a boys' trip. It was like, the guys' night out, and so they were tackling their own internal masculinity, and their final boss was just Chad, and it was so funny. It was just a perfect little nugget.
Love little like story coming around there at the end. That's really nice. So I see there's like a bunch of guests that you have on the different tour stops. How has it been playing with them?
It's been so much fun. It's what's great about it is that like one, I get to fangirl over these really cool people. And they've become my friend. I've stayed pretty cool. I think I freaked out. This is a bit of a tangent, but during our New York run, we got to work with Darren DePaul, who obviously he voices several people, but to me, he's Reinhardt from Overwatch. And when he would do the voice lines, he'd go like, "Hammer down!" I would be giddy as a schoolgirl. Oh my God,
that's awesome.
I could not control myself, but it's been what's so fun about it is that because all of us know the show so well, we can bring these people and just allow them to have as much fun as they want and be themselves and bring their like whatever special energy. Like we have Jack Lepiar's Jack the Whipper coming up, and he is so good at crowd interaction, and because that's what he does in his show. And so we can let him do that and bring all of that energy to the show. And for our reroll challenge, we do so there's so many mechanics to our show. There's a thing called a reroll. And essentially when we do a bad roll, the audience can chant reroll, and we have to do a challenge to see if we can roll the die again with advantage or disadvantage. Ooh. And for Jack's reroll challenges, normally we'd have him do like push-ups or balancing things. He's like, no, I'm going to teach someone how to whip on stage. And if I can teach you to whip in 3 tries, then I succeed. And it's so cool because like no one else could do that. I can't whip anything.
That's it's
awesome.
Interesting. I've heard of people do like for their D&D games, well, they'll have somebody like actually physically lift something up, or they'll have to actually interact to make the skill check. Or I saw I think it was Jeremy Crawford did like a D&D session with a bunch of people at like D&D in a castle and took them around the grounds. Like they weren't sitting at a table, they like walked around the place, and where they were was like the location of the session. Like that's where they were like, and then over there's the treasure, and then that bush is gonna attack you. And the evil guy comes out of here. And that's really cool. I like the interactive ofness, because like as a dungeon master, I love to like get up and act stuff out too. But how many players are on at a time?
There's 3 players at any given time, and then the dungeon master and tavern keeper.
Okay. And there's the 3 different roles, and you rotate between all the different roles too. Or have you dungeon mastered yet?
I haven't yet. I don't know if I will. And not from anything other than myself. It's just I haven't DM'd in real life. And
Mm-hmm.
so it's kind of the farthest from my own skill set. I could probably, after this many shows, watching it and being a part of it, I could do a bang up job, I imagine. It's just another leap. It would be and a lot of talking and a lot of work.
Yeah, yeah, totally.
um, so maybe, if I stick around for the long haul, maybe I'll be in that seat.
That's really cool. Yeah, I played for a couple of years before I dungeon mastered for the first time, and yeah, it was totally intimidating. I thought there was like all this work that you have to do. I like spent so much time kind of like preparing the wrong things. Um,
Hmm.
but now I've gotten a lot better at like focusing on my character, on the characters and like what they want to do, and making sure to like provide the experiences we're both looking for in ways that we both enjoy. Um, how does besides the like characters and the audience, how else does the show vary from night to night?
So, the show has a couple different endings, ranging from very good to very bad, and
Mm-hmm.
how the last audience does affects the next show. So if the last audience gets the worst possible ending, the next show is going to be on the hardest difficulty, which just means DCs get higher. Their challenges that they have on their phone get a little harder. And there's a couple other things that are varied depending on how they do.
Okay.
It also changes. In Act 2, we have 3 different rooms that we can go through. We go into this like cavern, and there's one room that's like a room completely bereft of light. Like it's called the dark room. And there's a room covered in lava, the lava room, and there's a big cavernous room called Echo Room. And they all hold different challenges. And again, depending on how the last audience did, determines which room we go into for Act 2. So it all is a feedback loop. And also, acting wise, if they lose the last time, the world we're in is darker and eviler and harder to live in, versus if they get the best ending, it's like, oh, we defeated evil years ago. It's great. It's awesome time in the world. And so all that flavor is determined by how the audience did yesterday. So that means people can come back and see the show multiple times and see how they affect it.
Oh, that's really cool. So is it like all the shows are kind of consecutive, but
Not necessarily. It's like more like a multiverse, I'd say.
yeah,
Like that.
like a
How
time
you do
loop
in this
multiverse,
universe. That's yeah.
like what's the
Twenty-sided multiverse.
20-sided? Yeah, that's really cool. Um, what what's been what kind of questions do the audience get in the app? What was the app called again?
It's called Gameotics.
Gameotics.
And so they will have things. There's a couple different things we throw at them. One of them is called a multi-click. And they'll get a multi-click, which is essentially like, it's sort of akin to like video game quick time events where you have to tap as many times as you can. Those are usually for things like strength checks and athletics checks and things of that nature. There's another one called an over-under, which is a lot like a multi-click, but they have to get the taps in between 2 lines. They can't go too high or can't go too low. And that's for dexterity generally. And then they'll get things like trivia questions and riddles, for like wisdom and intelligence. And so they'll get a variety of things throughout the show that will, if they succeed, it'll be something like, this character needs to make a strength check. You do a multi-click. If you succeed, we'll bump up their roll by 5. If you fail, we'll subtract 3. So they're really they've got to work to get the players to succeed as well.
And that's the like an average over the whole crowd of like the succeed or failing helping the player.
I see. They're all doing it together. So like the bar will appear on the big screen behind us, and they're all tapped. So like the over under, right? If you stop tapping and everyone else keeps going, that bar is going to keep going up.
Okay, so everyone's controlling one. It's not each has their own, and it's okay. That's really cool. I like the real time, like showing of the data is really cool.
You succeed together or you fail together, but you're always together.
How would you compare the show from like you first started to now?
I feel like it's streamlined in a lot of ways. I think we learned just how much we can improvise from doing it early on. There was a lot of things that were very bespoke, such as like, this is how this NPC will act. He will be working on his tools and he'll say, no, you can't do this. And you have to convince him to do X, Y, Z. But as we've gotten further and further away from that first script and that day one, we've learned that character can be anything. We actually don't have to, we don't have to align ourselves with the wizard who sends us on a quest. We could align ourselves with the evil people if we wanted to. We could. There are so many things that we took for granted that now, knowing the show and living the show and not being so attached to that skeleton, we deviate from a fair amount while still keeping the show in the spirit of what it once was, and also keeping it within 2.5. We'll see just much improv the show can hold.
Okay. Yeah, that's very similar to running a D&D session, because there is a lot of stuff that I used to hold on to, and that now I realize can be so ephemeral, including NPCs and their names, or information that can be learned.
Yeah, just why not let it go? Open up to the possibility that anything is possible.
Yeah, because it's it's for me, it's not that Grandma Elaine saw the murderer in the town square. It's the murderer in the town square was spotted by somebody. Who that could be, I don't know. The players are gonna ask some people, and when it makes sense, that's where it will be. I like having that moldability, and it seems like you guys have that on stage too, which, like you said, you don't have the NPC, you don't have to align with them. You can be a evil party one night and a good party the next night, or even mix matched.
And we've gotten to that point where we know what adjustments need to be made in order to make it work, right? So there's a character that betrays us every night. And sometimes if we're really railing into him, then the response is oh, he's mad at you. He's betraying you because he is personally you've slighted him and now he's seeking revenge. But sometimes if he's a real nice guy and the audience, then it's magic has taken over him, and we can save him if we get the evil magic out. He's still betraying you in a way, but it's because he's been taken over by another force. And so that is all audibles we can call in the moment, depending on what we think the audience is going to want and what our relationship is to the story tonight. And it's become easier to do as we've learned to trust each other and trust what the story is.
Yeah. Yeah, having that trust there is really powerful, especially over a long period of time, with D&D, because you can do a lot more. Once you have that like rapport and that trust, you can kind of just throw a lot more things without expectation and have them react and make it their own, which I think is like really fun.
I mean, that's the secret sauce, is being open to anything happening and reacting in character, and then you have a story.
Yeah, I love the characters doing just something ridiculous, and then I just react as an NPC.
It is so delicious, being like, why did you do that?
Yeah. Or like, so do you actually have a plan, or are you just gonna run in?
I just got in.
Yeah. Oh my God. The amount of times the plan goes abandoned instantly.
Hey, who needs a plan when you got charisma?
True. Very true. Do you have any other special guests coming up later on in the year? That you can talk about?
Well, I could say that we've got a lot of people coming back from the New York run, but I'm really excited to work. I've been a Smosh fan for a long time, and seeing he's just freaking hilarious. And so like he is joining for the first time next week.
Cool.
And so that is going to be so much fun getting to work with him. And that's gonna be a blast. If you could come out to Chicago and catch him, that would be great. But that's gonna be really cool. But we got a lot of returning friends. I just don't remember how many of them I can talk about.
It's okay.
But just get ready for your old pals to come back, and especially in LA, we're getting 1.5 million people in LA because all of them live in LA.
Yeah, they all are in LA. That's so cool. Okay, so now it is time for the lightning round.
Ooh.
I have, and these questions are like more D&D focused. And I have like a 3-minute sand timer. So we'll see how many you can get.
Let's go for one.
I'll start with, they're not like true or false questions. They're like like opinions and like how you do things.
Okay, got it.
They're not they're not right or wrong.
What is the that is cute.
Yeah. And then I'll start the timer when I end the first question.
Great.
What was the first set of dice you ever got?
Ooh, they were green and they had gold numbers on them.
Oh, cool. Your favorite like book, movie, or video game that inspires you for D&D?
Ooh, I mean, I gotta say Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes. Advice for younger you.
Ooh, confident. Are as talented as you think you are.
Ooh, that's really good. Your favorite character you've made?
Ooh, I made a parody of Mario from Super Mario. His name was Marty O. He was a Circle of Spores druid because he ate mushrooms and got power.
That's awesome. I love that a lot. What's your favorite NPC on the 20-Sided Tavern?
Ooh, there's the old man at the dock ward. He just sounds like a pirate, and he's really funny and wears a big old beard.
Oh yeah, I love sailors and stuff. Why do you like playing tabletop games?
It is fun to not be so worried about the rules or winning, and just about telling a story and doing what the character would do and seeing how it will work out.
Yes, I love that. What's the your favorite mechanic for the stage show?
Ooh, I really like the rerolls because it is something that is so visceral, and the audience literally just has to yell reroll, and we will do it. It's electric when it happens.
What's uh what's your favorite way for the live show to start?
Ooh, I love it when the audience is really revved up and raring to go from the beginning. Because that means we're gonna have an electric show. If they're loud, we get louder. It's great.
Okay. How how would you recommend a person start playing D&D?
Um, get some friends, get some handbooks, and just try it. Do a one shot, do something that was written, search on Reddit. There's gonna be something. People will help you.
Um what's your favorite visuals in on the stage show?
There is an effect called what Radiant Large is a big white light and an angel card. Very funny.
That's really cool. And then how um how do you prepare for the stage show?
I have been reminding myself to listen. I have this mantra of, catch the basketball and then pass it. So that I always make sure I'm making this. And I also do like a full body workout before.
Oh,
Toe touch because we get physical with each other. It gotta keep body.
yeah, totally. I feel that, yeah, stretching and everything can definitely help make a difference for sure. Yeah, that's all. I think we did 11 questions out of the 20. Not bad. Pretty good.
Hey, that's almost passing.
Yeah, I'd say it's passing. Those were really good answers.
I try.
So, a couple questions I got from the internet. Have you seen other shows like this? I mean, not necessarily like D&D. They could be D&D, but like, have you seen other things like this that have like fan or audience interaction?
Sick like improv shows where they ask for suggestions from the audience. Definitely one of the extreme, like on the end of we keep in touch with the audience for the entire show. So on that aspect, I think this show is. I haven't seen them.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I haven't heard anything that's like so interactive like this is. Do you think there's room for more shows like this?
Absolutely. I think this is the future of theater. I think people want interaction. They want to be connected to it. And I think that's what makes theater that's why they're not going to choose to sit at home and watch Netflix or YouTube or, Hulu or Peacock or any other,
Yeah.
That's why people come to the theater to interact with humans. So I think that's what gives us the leg up.
Mm-hmm. And that's why, and using D&D as like the medium for that is such a great idea because it allows the show to be different all the time, and just like there are so many ways that we've like lost the human connection, and like tabletop games and theater are such great ways to like have that. And oh, it's just I really want to see more stuff like this. It's really great. So the last, unless chat has any more questions for us, the last question I have is can I get a question for the next guest, who is Will Champion next week?
Ooh, oh man, I love Will. Will is my favorite. I think you should ask him what spell he would want to have in real life. Because I think he's such a evil, or he'll say something like fireball to light my candle, but he'll probably get into it.
Yeah, I saw a video the other day where he was talking about like spell slots. Don't like you can do whatever you want with spell slots, and I was like, yeah, I love that.
Oh, if you want to get into the weeds of like mechanics and like D&D proper, that's your guy.
Cool, I will remember that. Cool. What spell would you like to have in real life? That's a really good question.
Oh, obviously, melts my New Year's. Don't ask why. I'll know when to use it.
Yeah.
It's like that question. This has been on TikTok. That's like, would you rather get $1 million or be able to do a Kamehameha twice? And a lot of people are like, I got to take that Kamehameha. You never know when you're gonna need it. And that's how I feel about melts minute meteors. Like,
yeah,
I might need it.
Yeah. Ooh, maybe cat nap so you can get a short rest in like 10 minutes. That'd be cool.
Oh, wait. Now you're cooking. I mean, for that matter, give me good bear.
Ooh, yeah. Yeah. Crave food and water. Yeah, very good. Awesome. Well, I think that's it for today. I want to thank you everybody for stopping by and hanging out with today. Thank you, RJ, for joining me today and spending your time with me. I really appreciate it. This has been so fun. If you haven't heard about it, 20-Sided Tavern, they're in Chicago right now. They're coming to, I have the list somewhere. They're coming to, what is it? LA, North Carolina, Philadelphia, Wisconsin. There's so many. Go check out their website. Check them out on Instagram, on YouTube.
Well, lots
any
of
last
dates,
words
we
you
are
want to
coming
say?
to you.
Oh yeah, they're gonna
play Dungeons and Dragons. Do it. It's really fun. Connect with your friends. Find the nerds in your community, because there's more people like you. You're not alone, and being nerdy makes you powerful.
You heard it here first, folks. Being nerdy makes you powerful. As always, I'm Craig of Inspiration. Good luck on your next session. RJ and I believe in you. We'll see you in the future.